pro tip. Get the best gloves you can, because I am just popping them like crazy.
Get the powdered ones.
2023 and season 4. I think this will even go to 2024. I don't know. All I can tell you is that we've been sailing the boat and enjoying ourselves. Minimal amount of boat work this year, but that's okay. I want to enjoy my family, I want to enjoy the boat, and I also want to enjoy some boat drinks. Nothing better than being sun-kissed on the water. I hope that you guys have really enjoyed these videos, and if there's something you want to see, I implore you to reach out and ask me, and I'm more than happy to record it for you. Boat work is my favorite, so if you have some need for a helping hand, by all means, just reach out. I'm here. But until then, I hope you guys hit that like and subscribe button, and cheers to you in the water. What is going on, my people? Today, I am down in the boatyard waiting for Jason to show up. We're gonna need these today because it's the solar eclipse. However, I am so busy, I have to get this stuff done. So I took my big boy job day off, and now I am just waiting on Jason to get down here to start filming. But we're gonna be finishing the keel on the Golden Hind today. Remember last week, we put out a video of us filling in the gap with G-Flex and then getting the 5200 placed in the channel. This is all cured up now, and we are ready now to lay our first layers of fiberglass. I'm gonna let that set. Hopefully, which would be awesome, would be today. It's beautiful out, it's like 70 degrees. We have the fast cure. If that sets up quick, I'm going from here about a mile to my boat, and I need to actually sand this channel a little better. I didn't get all the ablative off. It is what it is, and some of my non-ablative is starting to peel, so I just got to do a quick sanding on that. But if I can get down there, do that quick sanding. I also got the numbers kit from West Marine to paint onto my Highfield, so I kind of want to do that today while it's really nice out. Then maybe get back here today and get our first layers of fairing compound down. Tomorrow, if that happens, tomorrow I'll be back to sand the fairing, refair, and then this is done. This is done. Yeah, it's not bad. Hopefully this all goes quick today, and we'll see what happens. Okay, so a bunch of people are asking why 5200, right? So I've done a bunch of these keels now. I can't even remember how many, 8 or 9. I've been using 5200 in my channel. Now this one, we torqued the keel bolts. We still had a gap. Now that gap that you did see in here, that was actually up here. Here's a little bit of G-Flex. That gap was caused, it has to be there, right? It wasn't the whole thing. It was just, again, there was no gap, no gap, no gap, no gap, gap. And then we had the whole gap there. That's caused from the old glue, such as the 5200, drying out, falling out. Keel bolts weren't torqued correctly, so there was space, it could move, things were flexing. It's also a 40-some-odd-year-old boat. You can have a little bit of a gap. You just need to fill it in. That's all you have to do. You want to try to mitigate that gap by making sure your bolts are tight. But being that the entire edge of this didn't have the gap until right about here, tells me that just that caulking, that glue came out. So we refilled that back in. Now, why do I use 5200? Because it's flexible, people. It's flexible. Now, Sadie wants fiberglass put over this, so we're going to do that for her. I wouldn't. I mean, that's just how I did the last few keels. I haven't really used much glass. As you can see, it's just all fairing compound anyhow. There's really no glass except for right here, which would have been a layer. So we're going to put that back to stock with a layer or two of biaxial or trough sand, depending on the mood I get into in a minute here. We do have to sand all this lead down so it's shiny, so there's no oxidation. But 5200 is flexible. So if I had just used 5200 and fairing compound, yeah, we're going to see a crack in a couple of years, because this is going to flex. No matter what we do, it's going to flex. It's going to flex brand new. It's going to flex repaired. But that 5200, being that it's flexible, as well as the G-Flex that we used to fill in that void, it's going to mitigate a lot of that cracking. If we just put fairing compound over it, in 2-3 years, if there's a little crack, sand that out, refair it, and you're good to go. With the fiberglass, you could get a crack in the fiberglass, but I'm going to do it so thin. I'm not going to put a thick amount, right? We're just putting a layer or two. that should flex for a while without issue. And then the fairing, again, on top, no problem. And if you remember my boat, which I'll show you, there are no issues. And this is 4 years later. Yes, I did a keel patch in the back, but come on. That's because I'm crazy and I had a little tiny little crack, and then I wound up messing the whole thing up and costing myself a ton of time. Anyway, check it out. Now we're gonna do the fiberglass and hopefully some fairing today, and yeah, it's gonna be awesome.
Before this fogs up, guys, what we're gonna do first is we are just gonna go ahead and sand the lead back down so it's shiny, and then we're gonna clean it with acetone. So there's not gonna be much talking here, and we're gonna speed this part up because you don't need to see it. Oh yeah.
Guys, again, I'm using Totalboat Classic Epoxy with a fast hardener. It is a 5-to-1 ratio. Consistency is looking nice. I'm going to mix it for another minute, and then we're going to start applying. So hold your horses, here we go. All right. So we got the lead brought down. Now Sadie's still going to have to sand this and smooth out a lot of the problems down here. Hopefully there's enough Totalboat left over. That stuff goes awfully quick. But worst case scenario, she's got to get some more Totalboat, and she can fair this if there's none left over. But we are almost mixed up here. I've pre-cut a bunch of pieces for the tail, and that's where we're going to start right now. Well, you know what I want to do first? I just want to wipe this down with acetone. All right, so we're just wiping the lead dust off of all this. Acetone, it's crucial that we get this clean. And sorry, Sadie, I'll be using all of your acetone today because this is going to constantly happen. All right, y'all, I decided to go with chop strand for this. It's going to be a little easier to do what I want to do here today. So what I also do is I buy the cheapest paintbrushes possible, and I cut the, we don't want you in there. I cut the bristles down so it's good for tapping. Give that another quick spin. We are ready. So we're gonna load up the brush. This is not a tutorial on glass work. So if you have any questions, please reach out to me and we can go over that. This is also just, watch your head there. Yes, I just want to get it wet right now. Just soak it up real good. Come on, stick. Okay. All right, mixing up a second batch, new cup, no problems. Give this 1 minute, and then we're almost done, guys. It's gonna cut a couple more strips of glass, and this is good to go. Hopefully it actually hardens today, so Jason and I can come back and do the total fair today, which would be awesome. What's up? All right, so it is now day 2 of my vacation to finish boats. We are gonna be total fairing the keel. I'll do a quick segment on how to mix this, but you can also see that a couple of videos ago. We just looking over the keel. The glass is dried real good. I'm gonna quickly just hit this lead, and we're good to go. As you can see, everything's ready to go. We'll give it a little acetone, and we're ready. This is finishing up today. We did do a little bit on the rudder, so I patched those up. They're fine. We're gonna give them some fairing. Again, acetone everything right now, fairing, and we're out of here. I mean, hopefully Jason and I get this done in the next couple hours. We'll go back to my boat, touch up the paint, and then come back. Everything's tacked. I can give it a final sanding. I did bring a generator so I can get it all done in an orbital. Sadie's good to paint. And launch, I guess, as soon as she's ready. But let's get to this right now. All right, guys, so I love working on old political signs, but we are going to be using all of it, so I'm going to try to squeeze the whole thing out. I guess that's kind of the plus to these smaller cans. Plastic spoons, people. Well, this is my favorite product. I don't know what just fell out of my face. Some sort of fiberglass. We're going to be using, she bought 2 of these. This is all going bye-bye today. Again, with the 2 spoons, guys, you don't want to mix this stuff. I guess today really doesn't matter because we're using all of it. But 2 spoons if you're making small batches. That way you don't cross-contaminate. And that's basically it. We get all this out of here.
Yeah.
So I'm trying a new method today. I'm using gloves to get it on there, and then I will use my trying to fill that a little bit for her, my squeegee afterwards to straighten it out. This actually, I'm not gonna lie, guys, I never would have thought to do this. This is actually working really, really well, especially when you have such a minimal amount of working time, except you wind up looking like a monster.
It's just funny how fast you can apply.
Oh, it's so much better with the gloves. Yeah. Wow, I'm actually impressed. I don't think she's gonna have enough fairing compound though. We'll see when we start. Alright. I now need to do the squeegeeing, which sucks because, hold on. Alright, that's the only thing. Oh no, my glove broke. Pro tip: get the best gloves you can, because I am just popping them like crazy.
Get the powdered ones.
Powdered. But, oh, kidding me. Whatever. All right. Now we're gonna bring it all down from the top. I want that filled over, smooth.
And you're like basically just trying to fill all the gaps because you're going to sand it anyway?
Correct. We are just filling in all the low spots with this stuff. And it shapes up real nice. There's the phone. He must be working.
So the work time on this
It's quick, 15 minutes.
15 to 60, I guess I would assume that
Depends on the temperature.
Yeah, it's a little cooler today, but you gotta be quick.
Like a chef.
That's kind of what it is. Cooking up some epoxy.
Fondant.
That's so gross. If you got gloves, this is the first time I've ever done anything like this, but I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like it. This is working really well. You get the first schmutz on there after you mix. Oh, we've lost a layer.
It's gonna come off anyway.
Yeah. Just gonna get it all off of me. And now I can peel the first layer off. Yes, peel. I should get this layer. Ah, awesome. Oh, look at that. Oh, that was my favorite. I just bashed into the hose bib. Nothing works in this marina except for apparently that hose bib, and now I'm soaking wet. You know what? I think my wallet's ruined.
No, I think you're alright.
My cell phone probably. Not that I can touch it.
No, your right ass cheek is completely dry.
Okay, good. So pissed off. This is just my life, man. It's just no matter what I do, I get messed over.
I couldn't even turn it off. You turned it on full blast.
Yeah, right onto me.
What?
Always the big one. Always the quarts, never the pints. Is that right? Yeah, see, it's getting too thick now for me to really spread it safely. Oh, we're gonna do this, a little schmutzy. Where was that spot? Right there. That's all she wrote. All she wrote. Piece. Look nice. Hands help. All right, the total fare is now on. Again, it's thick in certain spots, as you can see, but once this dries, it sands down. This is going to look like something the Lord made. We leave it real thick in the front so I can shape it again. This is 2 pints worth. If you're doing a keel this size, I would say that's not enough. We need it a little bit more. But yeah, this is pretty cool. Again, tomorrow, or I was hoping today, maybe tonight I'll come down and I will try to give it a sanding, but it's not tacked yet, or not cured. It's going to take some time for it to cure. But yeah, pretty cool. Amazing. Whew. Well, that is my least favorite thing to do. Hate it, but it's done. Well, hold that. It's done decently. Sadie will have to do some more. Honestly, if I had some more Farron compound, I'd probably go for another skim coat, but we don't have any more. If she wants to get more, we can do that again. We used 4 pints on that, but we'll go have a look in a second. This is key for when you're doing this, and also running water, which we found out yesterday happens to be working on those sweaty mess people. So besides my back being on fire and being a sweaty mess, I'm basically done with this job. I don't have anything really more to do here, unless Sadie wants to get some more total fair. So let's go have a quick look at that. All right, that's a wrap on this. I'm pretty happy with this so far. Here we go. So this is it, sanded, rough. Now she has to sand the rest of the keel for paint, so she can go ahead and smooth that down. My back is on fire. I just can't do anymore. But we've fixed the Smile, and if you recall, at the back here there was a chunk missing, so I rebuilt this using fiberglass and Total Fair. This is good to go. Now again, will a crack show through? It's hard to say. It all depends on her keeping up with her keel bolt torque. If she can keep up with the keel bolt torque, this should be good for years, like mine and some of the others that you guys have seen. This is the same exact repair that I've done again on Artemis and a few other subscribers that have asked for help in the area. So again, what we did here is we ground out the cancer, we filled the gap with G-Flex, which is flexible, right? Then we used a bead of 5200, which is flexible. Then we put a little bit of glass, and then we did our Farron compound on top of the glass. A couple spots I could have sanded better, but again, my back is on fire. Let's go have a look at the other side real quick. So this is the other side. This is now starboard. Yeah, so she's gonna have to wash this and do a little bit more sanding, but I think that this is gonna hold up well, again, as long as she keeps up with her keel bolts, which is key for any of you guys. You should be doing that as a yearly maintenance when it's out of the water. Sitting like this, you should be torquing those. If you stay in the water, you should still be torquing them. I prefer doing it out, but that's just my method, and this is what works for me. This may not work for you. You may disagree with it completely, but hey, from what I've done over the last few years, my stuff has held, and held very, very well. So I have a lot of confidence in this. Again, it's just all about keeping up with the bolts. Let's see here. We can see the swale here came out nice. If I had more Total Fair, I would probably consider putting another skim coat on. But honestly, unless she's going to bring this all down to completely flat, it's perfect. I wouldn't mind it. Just definitely a little bit more sanding. Let's go have a gander at the rudder. All right, so if you remember, we had a large portion of cancer right here. So what I did was I ground all that cancer out, let it dry with a weep hole in the bottom, but we let it dry until no more water or rust or anything was coming out. Cleaned the whole area, fiberglassed it, Total Faired it. Now, this has me a tad concerned. I think this rudder has only got a few years left on it, but as long as she keeps an eye on it, she should be okay. I mean, the damage is done, right? We see the rust, which means that the steel ribs have oxidized, which is, it's not, there's no way to know. It could be 50 years, it could be 5 years. Yeah, if you have any more questions on this, again, if this was, if I had some more Total Fair, I would definitely do another coat on top of this just to smooth it out a little bit better. But being that she has to sand, she can go ahead and sand, and if she decides that she wants to smooth it even more, she can go get, I would say, at least a quart. So it'd be 2 quarts. Right now we used 4 pints, right? So that was, I guess, like having the 1 quart system, because you wind up with 2 quarts, versus having the quart system where you wind up with, you know what I mean, like 4 quarts or whatever it is. I don't know. My back is burning now. This job this week I have a bad back to begin with. If you saw the knee pads, that was clutch. Yeah, I've just been eating ibuprofen because I've been on my knees doing this the whole time, and I am done. But the front came out good. I could see one spot right here that I will tell her when I see her this weekend to smooth out a little bit better and take down a little bit more. But I have no more in me right now. Just some finish sanding, and it's done. It's done. So, any questions, comments, or concerns about using my method, which is, again, G-Flex or 5200, some fiberglass, and some Total Fair, as well as checking your keel bolts. If you're interested in that method, you can always hit me up and I can walk you through step by step. Again, this is what works for me. Some people are going to hate it. Some people are going to love it. I know a few people have commented that there's much better products, but honestly, I don't think there's a better product than the Totalboat resin and Total Fair. And 5200 has been around forever, and it's flexible, so it's going to mitigate some of the flex cracking, right? Because no matter what, these keels are going to flex. But yeah, that's where we're at. So any questions, comments, concerns, hit me up. Don't forget to drop the anchor for Jason so he smiles more. And yeah, I would love you guys to like and subscribe. Keep watching. Leave a comment. Cheers.